Welcome, my name's Ehabad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to discuss the new fusion, Tatura Rimehide. Firstly, if you have the means to get this champion, I strongly recommend that you do. I think this champion is the best fusion we've had since Brogni. This champion will be strong wherever you use it, no matter what stage of the game you are in. But critically, in my opinion, this is now the best champion in the game to beat Bommal 90 hard, without lashings of cheese. Furthermore, this champion will be excellent for one of your 3 Hydra teams, particularly if you aren't blessed to have multiple Shamaels or Duchesses. Lastly, this champion requires just 9 books to max its skills, which is incredibly good for a fusion champion. I will 100% be building this champion as soon as possible. So you might be asking yourself, why do I think Tatura Rimehide will be the best champion in the game for Bommal DT 90 on the hard difficulty? Well, unless you're running a cheese team, the most consistent and reliable approach to take is to run a high resistance team with decreased accuracy. If you're not running decreased accuracy, the resistance requirements are astronomical, but they are relatively manageable if you have decreased accuracy debuff on Bommal himself. Tatura brings us 100% decreased accuracy on an A1 once booked, which is the best way of keeping decreased accuracy on the boss, hands down. There is no better champion for it. Whirlim comes a close second with his irresistible decreased accuracy. However, with Tatura having on an A1, we have the ability to potentially end up with a auto team for Bommal. The A2 brings us block debuffs and increased defense. Whilst block debuffs won't help against Bommal, increased defense is obviously beneficial against his damage dealing attacks, although I expect we will likely not use this skill at all and will choose to cycle between the A3 and the A1 to ensure that we keep decreased accuracy up at all times. On the A3 we have a great ability to help us in the Bommal fight. Perfect Veil will decrease the damage taken on all other champions, whilst the shield placed on himself will ensure that he stays alive as well. When paired with Brogni, this will also heal Tatura, so this will give us excellent sustain throughout the Bommal fight. Lastly, the Doom Tower aura is obviously nice, but I don't see this being used in the Bommal fight, as we will have to be running a resistance lead. Suffice to say, Bommal is a piece of content that many people struggle with, and having a champion such as Tatura in your roster will greatly help you beat it. As for the epics involved, we have Umetogi, a Shadowkin attack-based epic. We have Masamoto, a Shadowkin defense-based epic. Visionary, a spirit support epic from the Dark Elves. And Broodlord, a force epic defense champion from the Lizardmen. I honestly think all 4 of these epics are underwhelming. If I was unable to do the legendary fusion, I would concentrate my efforts on Masamoto and Broodlord. Broodlord is the only epic I'd like to have a copy of, as he has use in 2 secret rooms. Epic Lizardman in Doom Tower 1 Frostspider rotation, and Force Defense in Doom Tower 3 Dark Fae rotation. With that being said, how do I propose we approach this fusion? If we move over to the fusion plan I've put, first things first, if you have the resources to push the champion training at the end and get Masamoto outright, you can skip both summoning events entirely. This will require careful consideration based on your own account and your resources, and be aware this champion training is over Christmas itself, so will likely be a struggle for most players. But it is an option if you are shard poor. We can get this fusion without summoning any shards, which is a first as far as I can recall. With regards to summoning, we have a Summon Rush event this weekend. When this comes as an event, typically it has the highest return potential for legendary books if you are able to maximize the points. It is a big shard commitment to do so, circa 15 sacred shards, but you will get a lot of resources back. So if you have been saving for a event to coincide in this manner, it could be a good time to invest those resources, particularly as the champions on offer are very strong. Furthermore, this summoning event will get us a epic outright in Visionary. The champion chase should coincide with 2x Ancients and will bring us 2 rares. I feel that one of these rares could be unusually high on points, and that could catch a lot of people out, possibly around 2500 points. But as we've mentioned previously, you don't necessarily have to do either summoning event, and particularly if you go big on the summon rush, you can skip the champ chase entirely. It really just depends whether you want to retain any copies of these epics. Aside from pulling shards and completing fragment champions, there is one other pro tip I'll have for the champion chase. If we hit the champion training hard during the champ chase, we can claim Masamoto. Furthermore, by this point, we can fuse the other epics as all of the events are unlocked. We can even fuse Rimehide for additional points towards legendary tomes without having to pull many ancients. But again, be aware this is over Christmas, and to front load all of these events over the 25th to 26th might not be an option. But in terms of pure efficiency, that's the optimum way to get additional rewards for the work we're putting in. Aside from this, there are 2 artifact enhancement events. One is coming up shortly, and the other follows almost immediately after. Ideally, you will have saved up silver ahead of time and are already sitting on a good stockpile. The energy we get from these will be helpful to do the other events, so I would not claim them until absolutely necessary. There is a bit of a wild card during this fusion, as between the 21st and 23rd, I expect we will have CVC. It will overlap with the Champ Training Tournament and Spider Tournament, so we can get good CVC points without going outside of our way. But be aware, they may bait us with personal rewards. And it really is bait, because between the 25th and 28th, we have an extremely challenging time during this fusion. I think we'll need to balance doing a Fire Knight tournament along with a champion training that contains a full epic and potentially a legendary book. This will be a 12 to 15k point event, and the epic I expect will be around 10 to 12k. There is also a rare in this event, which I think could be placed quite highly, around the 6 to 8k mark. I do think Plarium have misjudged this, as a considerable portion of their player base will be busy with family commitments during these days. It really is the most antisocial plan they could have come up with. So there we have it in terms of the overarching events, the schedule that they're coming up with. I've also put a plan together in terms of where I'll be directing my energy on a day-to-day basis, and I will likely follow this up with tips on how I optimize certain events, specifically the artifact enhancement events and the champion training events, to maximize my points. I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I can adjust my plan on the fly, as I retain a stockpile of all resources at all times. That said, I will be looking to do this as efficiently as possible. I don't see any need to use gems until the 25th of December, CVC notwithstanding. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful for you. Please like, comment and subscribe. Any feedback is very welcome. And good luck with the fusion. See you in the next video.